So, who makes the best boutique lunchbox amplifier? Is it the ENGL Fireball KT77 version? Or is it the FRIEDMAN JEL20? Or is it the Soldano Astro? Let's find out. Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another exciting episode. I know everyone's on the edge of their seats wondering who's going to win the big shootout. Well, we're about to find out, and my goal here is to have you be the winner. I want you to get the information that you came for, so I'm going to do my best to give that to you. So what we're going to do is shoot out the new ENGL KT77 Fireball against the FRIEDMAN JEL20 and the Soldano Astro. Did you see my bicep here? It's looking huge. Oh my God, this pause. Freeze it right here. Send this to your girlfriend. All right, so anyways, yeah, we're gonna shoot these out. We're gonna shoot them out for with the clean channels and with the high gain channels, okay? So let's go ahead and start with the clean channels without effects right now on all of the units. Now, when I'm playing each amplifier, you'll see a picture of it on the screen here, except for the ENGL Fireball 25. You will not see a picture of the amp on the screen when I'm playing this, just so you know. And I'll be playing these through my, what cab am I going to use today? I'll use my trusty Mesa cab with it's a 212 with vintage 30s, and the mics are listed there as well. So let's get started with the clean channels. Now I have these amps dialed into their optimal settings, and I don't think they can get any better. So let's go ahead and start with the cleans. Okay, so now let's turn on the flashback, delay, and the Julia chorus and see how they compare when they're all dressed up. Okay, so I thought they all sounded really good. The Astro is a little darker than the other two, and I do have the bright switch all the way to the right on the FRIEDMAN. Now, the Fireball does not have a bright switch, but I think the tone stack on the Fireball, as you can see here, let me turn off this picture here of the cab. So the tone stack here is very good regarding sharing it with the high gain channel. Like these settings right here work perfectly for the clean and the high gain channel. So I really like how this tone stack, even though it's shared, works really well for both. So this is how I have the amp set up. And I did do some further dialing in on the Fireball today before I started this video because, you know, this is new. I just got this and I'm starting to, you know, get to know it a little better. So I just nudged the presence up a little bit and just a hair on the treble just to give it a little extra bite than when I had it dialed in the initial video I did on it the other day. So I think it sounds amazing either way, but now it's got a little more bite, which is what I look for in an amplifier. Anyways, let's see how all these amps compare in the high gain channels now. So all the amps are volume adjusted and they're in their best settings, and there's no overdrive engaged at this point. So let's just see how they all compare without the boost pedal. All right, as far as tightness is concerned, I'd say it's a pretty close tie between the FRIEDMAN and the Fireball, and then the Astro is definitely a little looser than both of these amplifiers, but it's not a bad thing. I boost all my amps anyways, so none of that really matters to me because I boost all of my amps, but I just wanted to point that out for the 3 people on the planet who don't use boost pedals. So now let's engage the boost, and I'm going to pick the best boost for each amplifier, and I will tell you what that boost pedal is, because believe it or not, boost pedals are not one-size-fits-all pedals. Believe it or not, there's a reason why there's a ton of boost pedals out there. Number one, because we all have different tastes. And number two, not every boost pedal works with every amplifier. It really depends on how thick or how tight or how flubby or whatever the amp is, and you pick the right pedal for the amp. It's science. So I'm going to pick the odd box for the ENGL Fireball and for the FRIEDMAN, but I'm going to pick the Mud Killer for the Astro because the Astro is a little looser and it requires something that has a little more of a shaping, cutting aspect to it, and the Mud Killer is definitely that. So I want these amps to be in their optimal settings with the optimal pedals with them so that they can be compared properly. So let's go ahead and start with this version of the comparison. Well, I think they all sounded really good. In this particular shootout, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just the new car smell or what, but the to me, the ENGL Fireball with the KT77s, it's a little more forward. I feel like it's got a little more headroom, and it's a little more brutal than the other 2 amplifiers. Now, you know, the FRIEDMAN JEL is not meant to be a brutal amplifier, okay? So I totally get that. And neither is the Soldano Astro. Those are both kind of a classic sounding amp, you know, with a hint of a little bit of brutality, you know. They can get there, but the Fireball is more in the metal category as opposed to the classic category. So let's keep all that in mind as we're doing these comparisons. So some people are going to watch this video and prefer any one of these amps, depending on what they're looking for and the type of music that they play. And I totally respect that. I'm just doing this shootout so that if you're deciding between some of these amplifiers, you can make the best decision that works for you. Now, I've had several comments after I did the Fireball demo the other day. A lot of people were like, hey, I wonder how it compares to the Astro. Well, here you go. You know, this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this. And I figured, you know what? I got the freaking, you know, JEL over here. I might as well throw that in the mix as well because it's also a really cool amplifier and I love it. So why not compare them, you know? And as far as I'm concerned, depending on what I'm craving that day, I'll pick any one of these depending on the kind of riffs I'm playing or just what I want to hear, you know, and I think they're all really good. That's why I have them on my shelves. But I will say that the Fireball has really surprised me here. It really has. I'm more of a metal guy, so if I was playing metal like I do most of the time, I would probably go with the Fireball, but if I'm playing some more classic-oriented stuff, I would pick either the Friedman or the Astro any day, and I think those would sound great as well. And like I said, depending on what I'm craving that day, I could pick any one of these amps and be completely satisfied. But I will say that the ENGL Fireball has a little more of a metal edge to it, and it's a little more aggressive sounding. Now, feature-wise, on the JEL, you do get the direct outs. You get 2 channels, and you get some, the pull gain. You get a couple different bright modes for the clean channel, and you also get the SAT switch, which is really cool, and it's a really well-made amp. Everybody knows that Friedman amps are made very well. With the Astro, you get 3 channels, and by the way, I was in the red mode on the Astro, just so you know. You get 3 channels, and you get a couple modes on the 2 high gain channels. You get the I guess they're called galaxies, as you guys know. You get like the green galaxy, you get the blue, and then you get the red galaxy. And so with those high gain channels, you get a couple different modes, a couple different gain structures or gain levels, if you will. And you also get the DI out that has a whole bunch of impulse responses that actually sound really good. And you can run this direct into your PA or whatever you want to do. So it's actually a really feature-packed amplifier, and it's awesome. And that's one of the reasons why I bought it, because if I want to go DI and just, have really good sound and not a bunch of volume, I can do that with that amplifier very easily, and I really like that feature set on that amplifier. Now, with the ENGL Fireball, you get 25 watts, you get 2 really good channels, and you also get the KT77s, and I just think there's a little more headroom in this amplifier. I think you're going to get a little more volume out of it. The Astro's as loud as I can get it, and I believe the Friedman is as loud as I can get it. If I push the Friedman any harder, the EL84s are going to start farting out on me, and I have it right at the edge right now. Where with the ENGL, because of the KT77s and the power section associated with those, I have more headroom. It is 5 more watts, but I think the KT77s really help. And it's not breaking up. It's not even close to breaking up at all as far as the tubes are concerned. So I think I can get some more volume and headroom out of this. You do have a noise gate built into this as well, and you also get a power soak, and you get a direct out on this amplifier as well. So depending on the features, the price, and all that kind of stuff, you're going to pick which amp works best for you. Now I'm going to post all the settings of all of these amplifiers right now in the video, so you know what the settings were. So now let's just do a quick basic bitch mix with all 3 of these so you can hear them all in a mix compared to each other. It's just going to be about 10 seconds of playing, just so you can hear a quick version of how they sound in a mix. I think they all sounded really good in the mix. They all have different characteristics, textures, nuances about the way they sound, but there's no winner amongst the amps. I think the winner should be you, like I said at the beginning of the video, because I want you to get the information that you came here for, and hopefully you did. And now you can make an educated decision that works best for you. So the one thing I'll say about the Fireball 25 is I had the Fireball 100 here, and I liked it. It was a good amplifier. I sold it because I just wanted to fund some other amps and just kind of keep the rotation going here. But the one thing that the Fireball 100 had on it that a lot of people like, but some people, you know, like I said, we all like different things. It had that little bit of a fizziness to it, a little bit of congestion to it. It's not a bad thing. It just was one of those things that kind of stood out to me only when I compared it to other amplifiers. But I think the voicing on the Fireball 25 is different in a way where it doesn't have that characteristic about it, and I actually prefer the sound of the Fireball 25 over the 100. Now, I'm going by memory here, but I do like how this sounds, and I'm not hearing that same kind of you know, detail that I heard in the 100 when I'm comparing the Fireball 25 to these other amplifiers. So I'm really digging this amp, and I think that it is going to be a great addition to the collection here. And I really think they did a great job on this amplifier. Now I know, yeah, it's new. I got the new car smell, the honeymoon phase, blah, blah, blah. But I will say I have put it through its paces throughout this video, and it's definitely a standout to me in, you know, in ways that I like, for at least for what I do for metal. Now, I still like the Astro, and I still like the Friedman just as much as I did. Like I said earlier, I mean, depending on what I want to do, I'm going to pick one of these amplifiers. But if I want, between these three, if I want to go full-on metal, it's definitely going to be the Fireball, because it's just got that little bit of extra edge and texture and aggression that I look for. And I think it's a little more forward, and I really like the fact that it has the mid boost on it, and that's the magic sauce on this amplifier, if you ask me. As soon as you hit that, the amplifier just comes more forward in the mix, and I just think that that's something that I really like anyways. And I don't really like it without that. So I think that helps it out quite a bit. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and got something out of it. Let me know what your favorite amp is in this little shootout anyways, and let me know what other amps you want me to shoot out. I'd be happy to do it for you. Well, to all my subscribers and Patreon supporters, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys. And if you want to join my Patreon, there's a link below. $5, $10, whatever you want to, you know, contribute. It really does help me out. I'm not kidding you. It helps me out big time. Literally keeps the lights on here. And if you're new to the channel and you like what I do here, feel free to subscribe so that you don't miss further episodes or live streams. And I wanted to thank everybody who's been purchasing my preset and capture packs for ToneX, Quad Cortex, and KEMPER on my website, which is also linked below. I really appreciate you guys. Well, I got a lot more stuff coming up, and I'll see you on the next one.